Hello friends, uh, after completing chapter number 2, now we are starting chapter number 3, that is an extra chapter of this new book, Introduction to Goods and Service Tax. So friends, if you still don't have the new book, please buy the new book, because this chapter is an additional chapter. Comparing to the previous book, this chapter was not there. Now this chapter is just for our introduction. It is like terminology only, that we have to take a short introduction about what is this tax and where it is used and how it is done. Otherwise it will be only included in the sums only, but first we need to know, like terminology, we need to know what is this tax. Okay, let us start. Okay, page number 52, a special note is given that I am reading. Goods and service tax, that is short form is GST, goods and service tax, is implemented in the year 2017 across the country. Modi government has implemented this tax named goods and service tax in the year 2017. This is a mandatory requirement, means compulsory requirement. Hence primary theoretical and practical explanation is given in this regard. For better understanding of the subject of elements of accounts, practical illustrations and questions are covered exclusive of GST. Keeping in mind the level of students, GST related to theoretical and practical explanation are covered only in this chapter of journal entries and subsidiary books. Means after this we have two chapters, that is journal entries and subsidiary books. This GST's concept is included, small concepts is included in that small sums. It is suggested that proper focus should be given to do during this academic work. Standard 11th onwards, the information of GST is very significant, thus sufficient care should be taken for it while teaching. If I am talking about me, then whenever I was studying, this thing came me in masters. When I was in masters of commerce, at that time I came to know what is GST, because at that 2017 only it was implemented, and first only it was implemented in chartered accountant course as well as masters of commerce, what I have learned. After that it was taken to the college also, college second year also this chapter is included, and after that a short introduction government has decided to keep in standard 11th also. Nothing you will learn in 12th standard about this, not in the first year of the college, in second year of the college, not in the third year again, then again in the in the second year of masters also you will learn. So government is doing simplification of the course and thinking about you people that this is very current affair of the country and you should know about it. What is this tax, how and where it is to be implemented, and what is the rates. Introduction. To meet the economic needs of the country, taxes are collected by the government. These taxes are categorized into direct taxes and indirect taxes. Underline the whole sentence. That government is acquiring money from taxes. Government is doing welfare work for us. Government is taking care of the country. Government is doing all this expense. So from where government will get the money? From the taxes paid by the country people. So the taxes can be categorized into two parts, that are direct taxes and indirect taxes. Indirect taxes are collected by central government, state government and governments of union territories. First they are talking about the indirect taxes. They are collected by central government, state government and union territories. In Indian context, different types of taxes were collected by different governments. Because of variety of indirect taxes and compliance of their separate legal provisions from the viewpoint of its management, it was very complex affair for governments, tax authorities and taxpayers. They are talking about the time period before 2017. That there were so much types of taxes, and it was a great confusion between government, taxpayers, tax authorities who are at central part to collect the tax. There was so much confusion because before GST there were n number of taxes. There were so much types of taxes. To eliminate such types of complexities in indirect taxes, instead of having different provision of central government, state governments and governments of union territories, new tax act is introduced with the slogan of one nation, one tax. that is Goods and Service Tax GST Act, it became effective from underlying that 1st July 2017 in the country. GST can be explained as follows. Now this was the motto of Modi government, that there were so much types of taxes. Now in order to reduce the complexity, means the difficulties that is faced by everyone, by government, by authorities, by payers and by each people of the country, to eliminate all these things, government has decided to remove all the types of taxes, and instead of it, one nation, one tax. What I am saying, one nation means one India and one tax. And what government is doing currently, one nation and one ration card. One nation and one ration card, and in the same way, one nation, one tax. In different areas, there are different types of taxes. Suppose in Gujarat, and different in Maharashtra, different in Delhi, different in Chennai, different in Bangalore. There was so much of confusion. In order to continue the business, first we need to know the knowledge for different types of taxes that are to be paid. To reduce this burden, government has decided and removed all the taxes, and the GST implemented in 1st July 2017 with the motto to remove all the difficulties of the people. Now what is this GST? Let us see. Indirect taxes of central government plus indirect taxes of state governments plus governments and union territories is called GST. They are writing simple formula, that is not important, but you need to understand only that all the indirect taxes. See friends, why they are talking about only indirect taxes, why not about direct taxes? Direct tax is based on directly people's income. If I am earning differently, you are earning differently, then we both have to pay different tax. But indirect tax is the tax which is paid equally by everyone. Let me make that thing clear, that if you are very rich, if you are middle class, or if you are poor, everyone will pay indirect tax equally. Why? Direct taxes are paid according to the income. So to reduce this complexity of indirect taxes, only GST is implemented, but not in direct taxes, only in indirect taxes. So what is GST? All the indirect taxes of central government, state government and union territories became one and become GST. Now what were the taxes? Some names are given. There are n number of taxes, but some of the names are given. Central sales tax, central excise duty, central custom duty, service tax, value-added tax, purchase tax, sales tax, entertainment tax. They are writing all taxes were withdrawn and cancelled. New tax came to effect from 1/7/17, that is 1st July 2017, that is GST. In order to remove all these taxes, only one tax came into existence, that is known as GST. To bring, here it is written to being, right? To correct it, to bring. Uniformity means one. An object-oriented implementation of GST for centers, sales and union territories. 5 GST acts are formed, which are as follows. This is just for an information. See, these are for your information only. In page number 53, they are writing these are only for the knowledge of students, not expected in exam. This is only for the learning. Okay. Central Goods and Service Tax, in short what we can say, CGST, then SGST, then UTGST, then IGST and GST compensation cess. You have came across these words whenever we are going to hi-fi stores or malls. Below there taxes are written and CGST, SGST, always it is written. Now what is that thing we are looking into this chapter? Now CGST. In this act, provisions pertaining to central goods and service tax are covered of the central government. So C means central, so CGST. S means state, so SGST. So in this tax, provision pertaining to state goods and taxes are covered. Now UTGST means union territories. In this act, provisions pertaining to union territories goods and service tax are, see, GST means goods and service tax, CGST means C for central, SGST means S for state and UT means union territories. Now what is IGST? In this act, provisions pertaining to supply of goods and services or both made other than own state or union territories are covered. Means if you are selling the goods to a person in Gujarat itself, then it is not applicable. outside the Gujarat, then it is applicable. And last, due to implementation of GST, those states who are having loss of tax collection for their compensation, this act is formed. Where there are so much types of black money and fraud, at there this compensation is used. Under this compensation act, the state government whose tax collection will be reduced will be compensated with the same. Where the tax collection is little bit less, they are compensated, means some amount is transferred there, but this is just for your knowledge. Now you need to know these things. What is the meaning and special features of GST? What is the meaning and features of GST? This can become in the exam. But after that I will give what will come. Now we are just understanding the things, okay? Meaning, different taxes of central government and state government are withdrawn and goods and services are covered under one tax. This tax is known as goods and service tax. Underline this thing. What they are telling? That taxes of state and central governments are withdrawn and one tax came implemented in existence, that is known as goods and service tax, GST. Tax which is applicable on supply of goods and services is known as goods and service tax. Its acronym means short form is GST. Special features of GST are as follows. What are the features? One tax. First feature is one tax. Goods and services are covered under one tax only. All these excise duty, sales duty, purchase duty are removed. Tax collection on supply. Tax is collected on supply of goods and completion of service instead of tax collection on production or sales or goods of providing services. We have to only pay the tax when we are supplying, when we are actually paying that thing. Means when we are actually transferring the goods or services, not on production or sales. GST Council. Entire operations and regulations of GST are done under through GST Council. Means there is a center authority which is known as GST Council and it controls the tax flow of the country. Each state has representation in GST Council. Finance Minister of the center works as chairman of this council, Goods and Service Tax Council. Okay, there is Finance Minister, now is Nirmala Sitharaman. So what she is telling to apply GST, and she can reduce or can increase the rate. Okay, it is up to her. GST rates. All GST rates are recommended by GST Council. Means these rates can change whenever the government needs. Import and GST. Import of goods and services are treated under interstate supply. Then input tax credit. GST paid on purchase is allowable deduction from the sale of goods and sale of goods and services. This is only for your knowledge how this is working, how you will get credit from other person from GST. You don't know to know now, you just know what are its features. Its meaning is important, but features are again for your knowledge only. Okay. Tax distribution. An appropriate tax distribution system for central and state government is available in this tax. Tax determination. All tax rates on goods and supply are determined on the basis of heads of goods and services. Predetermined tax rate structure. For applicable tax rates, predetermined tax structure is made available. Means if you want to know how much tax is to be paid on XYZ, on this thing, that thing, then rates will be given by the government. Rate chart is given that in this way you have to calculate, so that you can know how much tax will be payable in future. 5 GST acts as we have seen: CGST, CGST, then SGST, then UTGST, then IGST and GST compensation cess. These are all the 5 acts. In context of 5 acts are passed. Uniformity. GST rules procedure are similar across to the country. No. For goods and service tax, the word GST is. Okay. Friends, we have learned till this time what was the introduction of the chapter, that is about the taxes. Then after that we have seen what is GST, when it is implemented, and what all the taxes are removed. Then now we have seen its meaning, that is important, but features are just for your knowledge. Features can't be asked in exam. These are simply giving you information. Okay, so don't worry if you are not understanding the thing. Understand what I am telling, that this is a type of tax which will be used in our sums. Means in our sum, if they are telling that calculate 6%, then you have the calculator, you can calculate 6%. But for that, little knowledge is required, that what is this GST. This is a journal knowledge. Okay, don't worry about it. Now supply of goods and services or both. If we are supplying goods or supplying services or receiving goods and services, how GST is working? That if we are supplying in our own state, we are supplying out of our state, how GST is calculated, the details is given. Again, this is for your knowledge only. The terminology of supply is used in place of rule of goods or services both. The supply of goods or services both are supplied within the state or union territory or outside the state or union territory. Means in India there are states also, there are union territories also. So different tax rates can be applicable to each states or union territory according to the decided by the government. Supply of goods and services or both, it has two parts. Now the first part is saying within the state, means within our own state or our own union territory, and it is known as intra-state supply. What word they are writing? INTRA, intra-state supply. Means within our state or union territory it is known as intra, and outside our state or union territory it is known as inter. So see, two words are written in this flowchart. Supply within the state and outside of the state. Now within the state is known as intra, means inside, and inter means outside. Okay. Now which type of taxes are levied, means which type of taxes are taken within the state. CGST and SGST means central goods and service tax and state goods and service tax. Means if a person is selling the goods or selling the services within the state, means Gujarat, then inside the Gujarat, Maharashtra inside the Maharashtra, Chandigarh inside the Chandigarh. So what type of taxes is levied or taken? CGST means central sales goods and service tax, and SGST states goods and service tax. And if you are selling outside your country, outside your state or union territory, not country, then what is leviable is integrated goods and service tax, that is only IGST. So intra has CGST and SGST and inter has IGST only. Supply of goods or services or union territory, within the union territory, again they are explaining this thing. Under this category of supply, that is supply means purchase or sale, the supply of goods or services or both are confined to our own state or our own union territory. In this type, two are collected, that is CGST, central goods and service tax, and SGST. Here there is a mistake, state goods and service tax. See what name is written? STGS. No STGS, SGST. Please make correct it. Here it is written in page number 53, the last word STGS, not STGS, SGST. And outside the state or union territory, integrated goods and service tax means IGST is taken from you. That is explained, and it is explained through an example. And I can tell you without we are not reading this, I will simply tell you that if the tax rate is 10%, then two parts will be done for intrastate. See, supply within own state or union territory and supply outside the state or union territory. Now this is known as intra and this is known as inter. Supply they are writing after that, but simply what word you will remember? If it is inside, then intra, if it is outside, then inter. Here government will take two type of taxes, that is CGST and SGST. This is for center, this is for state government. And here only IGST means integrated goods and service tax. Now here there are two parts and here there is only one part. Means if the tax rate here is 10%, then this 10% will be divided in two equal parts, that is 5% for CGST and 5% for SGST. And here if the tax rate is 10%, then directly 10% will be calculated. Means amount will be same. First you will take 10% and you will divide it by 2, then it will be 5% only. But the thing which is to be understood in the sums, if they are giving CGST, SGST, then you should know, you should have the knowledge. We are learning this chapter for only our knowledge only. This 10% and 12% you don't need to remember, they will give in the sum. But in standard 11, you should know what is GST. If you are not knowing this thing, this is little bit not good for us. So you should know what is goods and service tax, that is GST. And if we are supplying within our own state or union territory, then two taxes are levied. Means tax is divided in two parts. CGST and SGST means central government, state government. And if we are supplying outside our state or union territory, it will not be divided in two equal parts, only one IGST. So that is written in page number 54. Here they are explaining and transaction also, that we don't need to require. And here see, a column is given. Now that column only I have explained in short. So this topic is over. Now after that, a note is given. I am reading that note on page number 54. In all subsequent chapters, means next chapters, above stated terminology are used in the context of GST. Students should carefully study this. For intrastate supply, SGST is applicable, while intrastate union or UT GST is applicable. Okay. Instead of state government, if there is union territory, then UT GST word is used. I have not written that thing only. Now they are explaining that thing. Okay. If there is no state, see, central government is always there. But Gujarat is a state, but Chandigarh is union territory. So if it is state, then SGST. If it is union territory, then UT GST. For transaction between state and union territory only, outside means integrated GST is used. Okay, IGST is applicable. Now what are the benefits of this GST? Again, this is for our understanding only. We are just looking one tax. Again, same thing they are repeating. In place of different indirect taxes of central government and state government, these taxes are subsumed in one tax. Means subsumed means combined in one tax, and that is known as GST. Simple tax system. If GST is applied, means it is already applied. Tax system has become very simple. Indirect tax system becomes very simple due to withdrawal or elimination of different types of indirect taxes. Now removal of double taxation system. Before implementation of GST, taxpayers had to pay double taxes, which is removed under GST. When there was no GST, then you had to pay sales tax and VAT both. Means value added tax and sales tax, both you need to pay. So your tax will be double. But now you need to pay only half tax. Benefit of price reduction. It is very natural thing. If we are purchasing anything for 100 rupees, if we are purchasing anything for 100 rupees, 10% tax is paid, then it is 10 rupees. So 100 plus 10, you have to pay 110. But if tax is 2 times, 100 plus 10 plus 10, then your price will increase. So through GST, little bit there is reduction in price, and in some of the items price has increased also. This is both sides of coin. This is not given in the book, but I am telling that when GST was implemented, so much people opposed it because the price of some items have decreased. That is very good, but price of some items are very increased. If I am giving the example, if you want to purchase a laptop in year 2018, then minimum tax was 5 to 6,000 per laptop. Now previously it was only 2 to 3,000. See, the tax has increased due to GST. But if you are seeing in some of the essential commodities like food items and that, tax has decreased. So there are benefits and there are disadvantages also. Okay. Uniform prices means same prices. Uniform price system is emerged across the nation. Means in India, anywhere you will purchase this thing, it will have only same price. Before it was not same price because tax was different. Reduction in tax evasion. Now this tax evasion means there is reduction of size of tax evasion and tax system got success. Here see, they are not writing what is tax evasion. Now this tax evasion you will understand in college what is tax evasion. Now suppose if I am telling you have to pay tax of 10 plus 10 20 rupees, you are avoiding to pay the tax, then that is tax evasion. This is just for your knowledge. You cannot understand these things now. Some of the things are there which are very of high level. We can understand because we have studied, but you people cannot understand. So this is just for your knowledge. Don't worry about it. Input tax credit. This also you cannot understand. Useful for economy, that you can understand. Balance regional development, reduction in administrative work, reduction in government operations. All these things are there, but there are advantages and disadvantages. Some of the things are written which you cannot understand. See, tax evasion was what was given. Now, how I may explain you if you don't know this thing? And it is but natural thing that you will not understand it now. These are just for our knowledge. What we have to learn from this chapter is these simple things. Benefits are at its place. Okay. Now, rate of GST. They are just explaining how these rates are divided in two equal parts when there is CGST and SGST. Means they are telling goods and services are covered under one indirect tax, that is known as goods and service tax. Under this act, different tax rates are determined on the basis of necessity of goods and services. These taxes are decided keeping in mind the nature of needs, from basic needs to luxury needs. The range of GST ranges between 0 to 28%, my friends. What this thing is telling? That the rate of GST is dependent on your necessity and luxury. Means, if in food items it is our necessity because we need food for our daily use. But if I am speaking about our luxurious items, car, mobile, laptops, computers, hi-fi hotels, theaters, cinemas, these all are our luxuries. So, necessary things will have rate very less, but luxurious things will have rates more. Means from 0% to 28% is the rate of GST. Now 28% is so much. If you are purchasing a thing of 100, then 28 rupees tax you have to pay. 100's 28%. So it is very more. And it keeps changing according to the time. Now see, GST rates for inter and intrastate supply of services or both. When there is IGST, they are not dividing in two parts. See, when it is 5%, then 5% only. But when it comes to CGST and SGST, means intra, then it is divided in two parts, 2.5, 2.5. Same for 12, 6, 6, for 18, 9, 9, for 28, 14, 14, for 3, 1.5, 1.5, 0.25 is 0.125, 0.125. Now again a notice given. For special goods, GST rates are 0.25% and 3%. Special goods you will learn afterwards what are special goods. In case of supply, 4 tax slabs are applicable: 5, 12, 18, 28. Different rates are available: 5%, 12%, 18% and 28%. Normally these only will be rates. There can be periodical changes according to the time. Okay. Now, terminologies of GST. This is the last topic. Today itself chapter is completed. Okay. Now, terminology of GST. Supply means purchase and sales. In GST, supply means purchase and sales. Input central GST means CGST. Input state GST means SGST. Input union territory GST means UTGST. Names are given that can be expected in the exam. Input integrated GST means IGST. Output central GST means CGST. Output state GST means SGST. Again, why they are differing input and output? Input means you are producing, output means you are selling. Output union territory UTGST. Output integrated GST means IGST. Again, intrastate supply and interstate supply. Chapter is over. So from this chapter, what we need is that these simple things. Within our state and outside our state, what is non-CGST and CST, what is GST, its meaning, its benefits and features are not required. Only this much things are required from this chapter. Okay, so I hope that everyone got 10% from this. I don't want 100% because this topic is such where you will get so much of confusions that what sir is speaking. But my motto is only for you to learn these simple things. No other thing. Okay, when the sums are coming, we will see to it. Sums are very easy for them. So 3 chapters are completed in the accounts, but in unit test only two chapters will come. Now for the next lecture we will start with the 3rd chapter of statistics. Okay, and after that we will go for accounts. So that's all for today. Thank you so much.